How's it going, guys, and welcome to the Midnight channel. We have another discussion video here today, and this is going to be basically what I want to see from Atlus regarding the next couple years here. So basically recently they did a survey, and they're going to be actually discussing the results of the survey, kind of what everybody wants to see for the next few years and everything. Of course, the surveys are very important because that's how they gather whether there's interest in a particular game or a particular series or something like that, and based on that they do things like that. For example, we know games like Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne got a port remaster because of the surveys, so Hackers 2, Persona 5 Strikers, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of examples, but this is some of the ones that come right off the top of my head. So today we're going to talk about what I want to see, not particularly predictions per se, but it's just that I guess educated guesses, if you will, of things that I would like to see in the future and things that we actually know about. But let's go ahead and jump right into it, and of course let me know in the comments down below, what do you want to see from Atlus coming from the next few years? You know, what would you like to see, whether it's your predictions or whether it's just stuff that you think could very much happen. But one of the things that obviously that I feel like are the obvious ones that are gonna basically need to get out of the way is Persona 6. Obviously Persona 6 is the next installment in the series. Persona has been extremely popular and it's been doing super well lately, so of course it's gonna be a Persona 6. Of course it's gonna be one of those things that's definitely bound to happen. I just feel like there's no discussion about it, and I feel like they're probably gonna announce it this year, with the 25th anniversary and all that. So besides that, what is next for Persona? What is next from Atlus pertaining to a Persona series? So I think there's definitely gonna be another Persona game. I don't know, another Persona 5 game particularly. I know a lot of people are like tired of hearing Persona 6 and all that, but I think there's bound to be another Persona game because obviously it sells super well. Persona 5 is the best-selling series as a whole, like Persona 5, particularly Persona 5 Strikers as well, Persona 5 Royal. I mean, we're talking about the last few Persona 5 branded games just did really good, especially comparing it to games like Persona 4, Persona 3, which also broke records, so to speak, for Atlus and everything. It's just every single game is just selling better than the last one, so of course definitely gonna be some more stuff for that. So as far as like what it is, I know a lot of people have talked about things like the arena games or another Strikers games. I think a Strikers game is more bound to happen because it takes less effort. If you guys didn't know, the Persona 5 Strikers wasn't made by Atlus. Some of the team worked on it, of course, for story purposes and that kind of stuff, but a good chunk of the team was actually from the Koei Tecmo side. Koei Tecmo makes a lot of the Warriors games. Recently they've been cranking out a ton of them. They did a Legend of Zelda one, they did a Fire Emblem one, they obviously have their own Warrior series. They crank this so often that I'm like, I mean, how do they do it? They really have like yearly releases, maybe like 1 or 2 Warriors games, like impossibly hard to make, but like somehow still cranking them like super often and everything. And they're not like a big studio or anything, like they're like a medium-sized studio. They're not super big, but they crank out these games really fast. So another one of those I think is a good possibility. So out of the way Persona, because I don't think there's much to say about that besides the spin-off and everything. Things other than ports and everything. I know we talked plenty about ports and all that. I think it's obvious Persona 1 and 2 makes sense if they port them. If they don't, I guess it also will make sense if they don't, just because of popularity wise, and are they gonna sell or not, who knows. That's the kind of stuff that we kind of talk a lot about in this channel, right? So besides Persona, what other stuff I feel like could happen? Well, Shin Megami Tensei had a really amazing last year and this year. I mean, we're talking about Soul Hackers 2 is coming out in a few months. We had the Nocturne remaster. We had Shin Megami Tensei 5 released last year, and it sold super well. It was the best-selling Shin Megami Tensei mainline game. I am thinking we're gonna have it on a spin-off game. I don't think it's gonna be Shin Megami Tensei 6 yet. I think that those are the big titles that they wanna wait every few years, so how they've been doing and everything. But I do have a strong belief that another Shin Megami Tensei game is coming next year. It is the 30th anniversary, or 35th anniversary, I'm sorry, for Shin Megami Tensei. I think it's 30th or 35th. I don't remember the exact number. I apologize right off the top of my head. But I do think this is one of those things that is bound to happen as well. It's just the second biggest series, right? Persona, Shin Megami Tensei. These two are gonna have to, you know, come out and everything. So I don't know, Shin Megami Tensei spin-off games I think is bound to happen, but also I feel like 2023 2024 is gonna be the year of ports. After they knock out Persona 3, Persona 4 and Persona 5 ports, they're really gonna start cranking out a bunch of that's really my biggest like take from all this, and for seeing like the way that they approach the surveys, I really feel they're gonna crank out a bunch of ports, and in between ports they're gonna do like, okay, well maybe they do like Raito. Raito is one of the most beloved, and a lot of people really like those games for an interesting reason and everything. So what if they did another Raito game? You know, I feel like it will make sense. But before they do that, they're definitely gonna do like a port or something like that. Those games are in the same system. I'm sorry, not the same system. In the same engine as the Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne game, and that one was pretty well. I'm sorry, it wasn't pretty well made, but it was pretty fast as far as like how long it took them for them to port it over and everything. And again, logistically speaking, they want to get those out of the way pretty fast, so that makes sense. But besides that, I feel like Atlus is ready to do other things besides just Atlus and Persona. There was a while ago they mentioned that we know for a fact that they're doing a game called Re-Fantasy. Now, I have talked about Re-Fantasy plenty of times in the channel. I have a ton of videos about that. So if you want to check out some information about it, check a link over there. It's going to be over there if you are interested in checking that out. But Re-Fantasy is a game that we have not heard much about, if anything, in years. Every year, they're like, oh yeah, well, you guys are going to hear about it soon. And then you know, a few like a year happens, they're like, oh, you're gonna hear about it soon and everything. So I think 2023 is finally gonna be the year where we're gonna hear about the game. I don't think it's gonna happen this year, but next year definitely. I think this is gonna be one of their heavy hitters, if you will. If you guys didn't know, just to give you, Re-Fantasy is being made by a brand new studio from Atlus. It has a lot of the team from Persona. Yeah, you heard it right. It's such as Hashino, who is the director of Persona 3, 4, and 5, the big guy, the producer, a lot of the writing team. This is a dream team that has been working on Persona for the last like 10 years, and now they're gonna make a brand new Final Fantasy style game. Not Final Fantasy, I'm sorry, just fantasy style game. I don't know why I said Final Fantasy. This is gonna be a brand new fantasy game, again called Re-Fantasy. So I'm really interested to see what it's gonna look like, but I do think that it's probably gonna be finally showcase reveal next year. I know COVID and all that had definitely a slowdown as far as like what they do with this thing and everything, but it's time to reveal this stuff. It's time to see what this game is going to be about. So that's going to be my other prediction about it. But anyway, that is pretty much, I guess I don't mean predictions per se, but that's my guesses, if you will. I don't like saying predictions because people are going to be a couple months at the line. I hate when people do this, but they always come back and they're like, hey, you remember we talked about this where it did happen or something like that. They always come back and tell me. I'm just like, I'm just throwing shit around, you know. I'm just saying what I think is gonna happen, but not really predictions, just kind of educated guesses, if you will. I like that better. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below, what are your, I guess, predictions, or what are your educated guesses, or what do you want to see Atlus in the future going on for the next few years, or the next couple years, I guess, if you will. And that's it for today, guys. Let me know if you have any other comments, suggestions for future videos and everything, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye. But before we end this video, I want to thank all the members: Miko, Another Fox, Demicro, H2DK, King Narukami 45, Ethan McNeil, and Rising Oilblin. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. I couldn't make these videos without your help.